Canada witnessed several major developments across politics, environment, economy, diplomacy, and citizenship policy as the country moved into the early hours of the day. From Arctic expansion plans to new climate rules, and from international diplomatic tensions to changes in citizenship law, these stories reflect Canada's evolving national and global role. Canada expands Arctic presence with new diplomatic missions. The Canadian government has announced plans to expand its diplomatic footprint in the Arctic region by opening new consulates in Greenland and Alaska. The move is aimed at strengthening Canada's presence in the high north at a time when Arctic routes, resources, and security are gaining global importance. Officials stated that climate change has accelerated ice melt in the Arctic, making northern shipping routes more accessible and increasing international interest in the region. Canada believes that expanding diplomatic engagement will help protect its sovereignty, strengthen cooperation with allies, and improve environmental and Indigenous collaboration. The new consulates are expected to focus on security cooperation, economic development, climate research, and Indigenous relations. Government sources said the move sends a clear message that Canada intends to play a leading role in Arctic governance as global competition in the region intensifies. New methane emission rules target oil and gas sector. Canada has introduced strict new regulations to reduce methane emissions from the oil and gas industry. Methane is considered one of the most harmful greenhouse gases due to its strong heat-trapping ability, especially in the short term. Under the new rules, Canada aims to cut methane emissions by up to 75% compared to 2014 levels by the year 2035. The regulations are scheduled to come into force in 2028 and will require energy companies to limit venting, conduct frequent leak inspections, and adopt cleaner technologies. Environmental groups have welcomed the decision, calling it one of the strongest climate actions taken by Canada in recent years. Industry representatives, however, have expressed concerns over costs and compliance challenges, particularly for smaller producers. The federal government maintains that the long-term benefits of emission reduction, including cleaner air, improved public health, and global climate leadership, outweigh the short-term economic challenges. Canada approves historic $60 billion mining merger. In a major economic development, Canadian authorities have approved a massive $60 billion merger between two global mining giants. The deal will create one of the world's largest copper-producing companies, with headquarters based in Vancouver. The government approved the merger after securing commitments related to job protection, domestic investment, and long-term operational presence in Canada. Officials said the agreement will support thousands of jobs and strengthen Canada's position in the global critical minerals market. Copper is considered a strategic resource due to its essential role in renewable energy systems, electric vehicles, and infrastructure development. Analysts believe the merger could significantly boost Canada's influence in the global clean energy supply chain. Despite approval, the deal still faces regulatory reviews in other countries. Market experts say global demand for copper is expected to grow sharply in the coming years, making this merger strategically important for Canada's economic future. Diplomatic tensions after Canadian MPs blocked from West Bank visit. Diplomatic tensions escalated after Israeli authorities blocked a group of Canadian members of parliament from entering the occupied West Bank. The delegation had planned meetings with humanitarian organizations and local communities. Israel cited security concerns and alleged links between the trip organizers and banned groups. Canadian MPs rejected the claims, stating that the visit was peaceful and officially coordinated. Canada's foreign affairs leadership criticized the decision, calling it unacceptable treatment of elected representatives. The incident has sparked debate in Ottawa about Canada's Middle East policy and diplomatic relations in the region. Human rights organizations say the incident highlights growing restrictions on international political engagement in the occupied territories. The issue is expected to be discussed further in Parliament in the coming days. Canada updates citizenship rules under Bill C-3. Canada has officially passed Bill C-3, introducing important changes to the country's citizenship laws. The legislation primarily affects Canadians with children born or adopted outside the country. Under previous rules, citizenship transmission was limited for second-generation Canadians born abroad. The new law aims to modernize the system and address long-standing concerns from families affected by restrictive provisions. Government officials say the changes reflect Canada's global reality, where many citizens live, work, and raise families abroad. The updated rules are expected to benefit thousands of families and bring greater fairness to the citizenship process. Immigration advocates welcomed the reform, calling it a positive step toward inclusivity and equality. Immigration authorities have advised affected families to review updated eligibility guidelines once implementation begins. Debate over language use by Canada's Prime Minister. An unexpected cultural debate emerged after critics pointed out the use of British spellings in official government documents issued by Prime Minister Mark Carney. Some linguists and commentators argue that Canadian English has its own identity and should be consistently reflected in official communications. Supporters of the Prime Minister dismissed the criticism, noting that Canadian English historically blends British and American influences. Others argue that language is a symbol of national identity and should be standardized in official policy documents. The Prime Minister's office has not issued a formal response, but the discussion has sparked wider conversations about language, identity, and national culture in Canada. Canadian MP challenges Israel's safety justification. Following the blocked West Bank visit, a Canadian MP publicly challenged Israel's claim that the delegation posed a security threat. The MP stated that elected representatives should not be treated as risks